15-minute. Hello, good morning. We're going to do a 15-minute live. Check. I'm doing a 15-minute live right now. Oh, coffee's so good. So, that's not. We're going to do a 15-minute live. I'm going to start out. What am I going to start out with? Some blues, some teals. Gosh darn it, I forgot how to draw. Well, we're going to work somewhere around in this area. Maybe add a little bit of purple over here for about 15 minutes. I'm just going to draw for 15 minutes right here, add a little bit of purple. And then that's it. The drawing is done. We're just going to add a little bit of purple here. Okay, well, I think the drawing's done now. And then if I add a little bit more purple right here, maybe. Yes, definitely. I think the drawing will be about done in about 5 seconds after I add some purple right here. And maybe if I add a little bit of purple over here. Oh, my paper is kind of like wobbly. I'm kind of worried that I'm going to spit coffee onto my paper. That's why I don't know if I like to talk when I'm drawing. I'm going to add a little bit of purple here. Maybe what I should do is get some purple. As soon as I find some purple. Maybe if I add a little bit of purple over here in this bottom area and mix it with that gray, maybe that might be a color I might want. Although I don't think that is what I want. But I'm going to stick with it for a little bit. I'm going to stick to my choices, stick to my guns, stick to my choices and follow through with it. Because that's what I got to do. You got to follow through. If you don't follow through, you're going to end up looking like a fool. And like your drawing's going to look like you didn't follow through with it. So I think let's add a little bit of purple there. It wasn't the right choice. Perhaps I don't have the right purple. Honestly, I don't even think I have the right purple. I might have to put it might have to be a little bit of blue. It feels like over here is like a bluish, purplish tone. So I'm just going to add a little bit of, yeah, that might be it. A little bit of purple and blue. So what I'll do is I'll take this purple here and we're just going to make this area a nice purpley area. You know, make it really purple. I'm just going to try to see how many times I can say the word purple in my live stream. So I'm going to make sure that this area is extra purpley and has a lot of purple. Not too much purple. You don't want to get too much purple in your drawing because, you know, otherwise we're going to make this drawing a little dated. You might end up looking like you have a little bit of Barney. That's a character from the 90s. Barney was a character from the 90s. He was a dinosaur, or maybe it was a she. They didn't really say whether or not Barney was a he or she, but definitely Barney was a dinosaur that was imagination. Barney was very purple, one of the purplest dinosaurs you could ever see. But as you can see, I'm not putting purple. I'm mixing it in with this blue that's going to make it like a hue that is kind of purplish and kind of bluish, but not too purple. We're just knocking down that purple into a different tone. As I said, I'm trying to use the word purple as many times as I can without just saying purple, 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 purple. This is what happens when it's 5 o'clock in the morning, fellas, is I just kind of rant and rabble. Anyways, look how purple, not purple this is. It's kind of like a blue, kind of purple, kind of not. And that was about 5 minutes of me ranting about purple. So I'm going to drink some coffee. Coffee's disgusting. And I think I'm gonna put a little bit of teal. It's like a light green over here. It should be a dark green. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put this. No, I won't use this teal. I got a couple teals here. I don't know if one's darker or one's lighter than the other. They look to be about the same. So what I'll do over here is needs a little bit of this teal, and we're just going to kind of blend it in together a little bit. We're going to blend it in a little bit, and then see what happens. It's going to have to be a lot darker over here. I'm going to blend this teal in over on the right side where I put purple. Again, we're mixing colors together a little bit. Oh, that's kind of nice. It creates like a bluish tone. Fortunately, unfortunately, like you can use like the color wheel to create certain visual effects with your with your colors, to create the illusion that you're mixing colors, but it doesn't work as well as it does with like paints. So we're just going to work on what I'm working on today. So I think it's going to work in this area. Maybe after about 30 minutes or so, I'm probably going to jump in and work this area. I don't know. I think I'm just going to work in the water area at the moment. Just kind of get acclimated, get a little warmed up, because I'm a little bit rusty. I've been a few days out. It was the holidays. We're out of town. So I couldn't draw. But here we are, drawing up a storm. I don't know if I like that. I think I might need a little bit of... Is this the color that I want? I don't have a lot of light blue left. This is like a blue. Yeah, I think this might be all I have of this blue, but I have this blue here that's probably what I want to use. Maybe you want to try adding actual blue, and I'll blend it in. Maybe that might be what I need to do. Like we'll make this area blue, like a hyper contrast. Not hyper contrast, but like we'll exaggerate the saturation of this color, and then we'll add like a white or a light blue on top of it, so that it gives off the impression, oh, we're in water. This is water. That's what we're doing. We're drawing water. And not so much just, I don't know. I'm not really a landscape artist, so I'm just going to kind of wander off here. There we go. All right. Is this white? This might be a white color. I don't know, because it's covered up in... All my colors are colored up in other colors. And that makes things kind of difficult when I'm drawing. So we're just going to kind of play around over here. Water's hard. Anyways, I'm gonna add a little bit of blue with this purple down here. Maybe I might need to add some gray too. So it's not all just one purplish area. Maybe it might need to be a little bit of gray. I gotta find a gray that might work. What if I add this gray on top of it? Would this be too... Ooh, that's... I don't know if I like that. Yeah, oftentimes when you're doing stuff like this, you just kind of have to put stuff on there to see if that's a color that might work. You know, especially if you're being more impressionistic with your drawing. You know, you're just kind of being more intuitive with the application of your color, as opposed to just kind of like, as opposed to really fine tuning. I wonder if I should just add black. What if I add a little bit of black on top of these areas? Would that be something I want to do? Would that be a choice? Technically, if I add the black, that's closer to what's happening here in the image. But I don't know if that's truly what's happening in the image, because this photo could just be a bad photo. But maybe I might need to add a little bit of black in this bottom corner here. And that might be, I don't know if it's a correct choice. It's a choice. I can always put color on top of it a little bit and kind of freshen it up. But maybe I might need to use the black. I don't know. Maybe that's going to be what I have to do. Even though I rather like that purple, but I might need that contrast later on. I'm not much of a fan of using black. I just don't have a lot of colors available to me at the moment. Yeah, so I think doing that is helpful, although I'm not too keen on the splotchiness. So maybe if I just kind of, I've been seeing a lot of artists lately blend with their finger, and you know, I never was a person that did that. Maybe because I was always eating pizza. I always had like greasy fingers. I'm kidding. I never was eating pizza when I was drawing. But if you have greasy fingers and you blend with your fingers, you're not going to have your drawing's going to be ruined. You're going to ruin it. So I guess that might be one reason why I didn't blend with my finger. Although I hear a lot of really good artists right now have been using the finger as a blending tool. Although I do have a bunch of brushes here. I could technically take a brush and blend with the brush. Something I've never done either. Why not? Maybe that might be something I do in the future. But who knows? Okay. Let's go back and add do I have any other greens here that might work? I'm seeing a green that might be a good green, because this over here has this like subtle green here that I might want to add in. Something like that. Just add this green here. Yeah, I think that might be a choice. That might be a choice. I'm certainly making a choice here. Whether or not it's a good one stands to be discovered here. Oh, I think the green kind of works. What if I add a little bit down here? Maybe blend it up a little bit. Blend it. So now that the purple's not all purple, but it has a little bit of green in there and a little bit of black and stuff like that. I might try using a brush in the future, actually. Put that with my green. And then we're going to take this blue, because down here there's it's really blue. We're just going to mass out these areas for a little bit. Anyways. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, man. Early in the morning. Just barrowing some color, putting some color in here. Let's see. I have this. This is not white. It's kind of like it's kind of a yellow, actually. And if I add a little, it helps. I'm using it as like the reflections, some of the reflections on the what would you call it? Water. So I've been using it for the reflections in the water here. And that's just what I've been doing. Whether it's the right color to use, that stands to be. I don't know if that's the right. I don't know if it's the right color. I got a little bit of like light violet here. Actually, it says it's violet, but it's a very light one. It's like it's almost a white, like a purple white. Yeah, and I might use that over here because in this area, it's lighter, but it's got, I don't know if it's the same color as this, so I'm going to use this, and I might use this color over here because I might like it better. It might work a little bit better, so it's kind of like a purplish white. As I said, the color says it's violet, but violet to me seems to be darker and more purplish, and this isn't. This isn't. Anyways, we're just going to go ahead. All right. That's it for now. I got to get going. I'll be back later. Thank you so much. Gotta get out of here somehow. There we go. What's it doing?